Hey, Erin. Hey, everybody. It's Erin Reed. I was calling myself, hey, Erin. Hey, everybody. It's Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my Card Making Wednesday. We are on episode 114 now, I think. Oh, my goodness. We've been going strong for so long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Today, we are going to make a card that is super cute. It's got donuts. It's got all kinds of cool stuff. Plus, it's got a little thing on the top, a little box on the top that you can put a gift card in. So this is perfect for birthdays, anniversaries, teacher gifts, graduation, wherever you would want to give either money or a gift card. This is different than last week. So if you watched the gift card, the little fun fold one from last week, this one is different. All right, let's get started. So just look how stinking adorable this is. I absolutely love this. Now for this card, I put the little kind of plasticky sheen. It's like what you would put in a shaker card in the top. But for the next one, I'm not going to do that just because it gets so glary as we're putting it together. But basically, I'll kind of run you through how to do it. But it's such a super cute card. It's made using this new die set. So here is the template for the box. I'm going to show you how we're going to put all that together. Plus you get, and I have this all on my magnetic sheet here. It has all the little bits and pieces that you use to make the little piece on here. It's got all the little donut shapes. And then there's a stamp set that goes with it as well. So these are all from Maker's Movement. Links are down below. It's called the Donut Shop. And so you can see all the really cutie donuts. I've already pre-colored a whole bunch of them, and you can see a few of them in the box right here. So it is a really, really stinking adorable set. How the gift card part works is that this is a little box and you open it up. And what I've done is I've placed the actual stamp part in there so you can place your gift card inside. But the box has got a little bit of some wiggle room in it. I mean, it's a pretty, decent sized thickness of a box that you can really put a whole lot of fun stuff in there. So let me switch my camera so I can see. Hello, Danielle. So make sure you pop on over and check out the links down below, as we always do, and let's start creating. First of all, we're going to show you how to make the little boxy parts. And again, I'm not going to do the plastic part, but I'm going to show you how you would do that. So the base part comes like this. So once you die cut it out, here you can see, so this is the base part, and this can be used for so many different things, and you can just kind of see that. Danielle, you were actually, I believe, a winner on a previous episode of one of the videos. If you have not contacted the company yet, I believe I tagged you on one of them. Make sure you go take a look at that. So I see that you're on. So all I'm doing now is I'm going through, and I'm watching, and I'm sorry, I've done so many videos, I cannot remember which specific company it was that you won on, but just go back. I think I tagged you on whatever video it was. So I'm just going through, and you can see that there's little score marks on here. Make sure you go and you mark all the score marks here. So I'm just folding everything down. You don't need to be super hard about that. You want a paper that is strong enough to take the width of the box. This is Close to My Heart Papers. An older set. I don't even know if they have it anymore, but anything that's got a little bit of a decent heft to it. So just keep folding the box. And there's one last one here, and that's this little fold right here. Right there. There we go. Ta-da-ta-da. So there's that little box. And now I have to decide, do I want my box to be the dotted side up, or do I want my box to be the pink side up? And I think I'm going to have it be pink. And for this one, I did the teal just because I love teal. But, whenever you guys get donuts and stuff like that, they usually tend to come in like a pink box. So that's what we're going for in this one. So I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper. This is just an old sticky note. And that's where I'm going to start applying my adhesive. So the front part of the box, it is really, really, it's super sweet, quote unquote, like a quotation marks. So these little fronty flaps right here, this is the bottom part of our box. I'm going to fold that in, add a little bit of adhesive. You don't want to use pop dots, but you can use foam tape. I love my Xyron. I'm using my little Xyron right now. It's because it's perfect for this. I'm going to lift up this right here. I really didn't need to put a sheet down, but my desk gets sticky if I add a little bit of adhesive, and you end up getting, well, you guys can probably see like right there. I need to wipe my desk down. I just don't want to make this messy as we're working. So just a little bit of adhesive. I didn't do a very good job on this one right here. And this is what's going to hold, there we go, the whole box together. So basically you're going to fold in these little flaps right here, and then you stick up there. It works better if you do them one at a time. There we go. Fold it up, and you just stick the little flaps together. So it's all pre-scored. And there it is. And then there's the bottom of your box. It's really easy. I'm going to do a better job of right here of doing this fold. And if you feel like, oh, I can't, that fold's not working, fold it back and front on itself a couple of times, and then it's going to start working. So there it is. Good morning, South Australia in the house. Woohoo. Hi, Rox. Hello. So you fold this back and forth, and that's what starts making the box. Now, here is the original one. To get the little plasticky part in there, all I did is I took this is the acetate that you would normally use for shaker cards. I just cut out a little bit of a square. I kind of laid that on here. I just took my scissors, and I'm just going to do it, but I'm not going to place it in just because it gets really shiny. You can see how shiny it is. And then you would just kind of ballpark where it is. I know it's blue just because it's protected. And I just go a little bit bigger than the actual side of the box, right? This is a little bit damaged. So, and then you would go in, and for this one, I would peel off. So it looks like you got a cellophane box of donuts. And this has got the little blue plastic stuff on here. So pretend I'm pulling this off because it's being very stubborn right now. Man, this little corner is being stubborn. There we go. And so you would do this, just pretend I'm doing it to both sides. I don't want to waste time showing you something that we're not actually going to put on this one. So here's your little cellophane. Well, let me do it both sides. Never mind. Let me just do it. Well, you guys tell me, do we want me to put the plastic part in, or do you want me to skip the plastic on this one? Your call. Does not matter to me. It's the same. It's just one more step. So we'll love to hear you. Should have gotten this pre-prepped, but I wanted to show you how to do the cutting part. Okay, that one's being a peanut. Come on, peanut. Get up. Sometimes things don't want to work when you want them to work, like right now. It's being a goofball. Come on. I swear, it's never this difficult. I am not having good luck with this. You guys aren't commenting with that. I think the plastic wrap is telling me no bueno as it goes. So, oh my goodness. I've never had, I wonder if it got heated or something and it got stuck to it. I don't know. It doesn't, maybe I'm doing the wrong side. It's very possible I was doing the side that, yeah, I was doing the side that doesn't have the blue. There you go. No wonder it wasn't working. I was doing the side that did not have the blue. Haha. No wonder. I was like, why is this not functioning? Well, because there's no coating on that side. So it's not going to come up. Now, if you guys notice, I don't know if you guys can tell, but right through here, like I did some major damage to that. It's okay because guess what? It hides in the corner. Yeah, and since I already have this cut, let's just go ahead and stick it on there. So all I do, I'm going to bring my sticky note back up so I don't mess up my desk. I'm just going to run a little bit of adhesive just along the edges, just like that. And then one more. That's it. So it's just got it around the edges. And then you just place it inside. So it looks like you've got a little box that's got a plastic wrap, just like you would normally have a little box that you would have donuts in, right? So that's like your little donut box. I think it looks cute in the pink. It almost looks like the donut pink. Plus, it's got a pretty little decoration on the inside when you're done with it. Kind of sweet. All right. So next we have the outer layer. You could leave your box like that. But I think having that little bit of extra, you know, flair on the outside would look super cute. But since I am going to put this through my tape runner, we're going to go ahead and die cut out a few of these because we're going to run them all at the same time. So I went ahead and on the stamp, so here's the Super Cutie stamp set. Let me put this on a piece of white paper so you guys can see them better. So here are the stamps. Okay, and look how adorable they are. They have a really big donut if you want to play with the big donut, tons of little baby donuts, and then you have the dies that go with them. So I'm just going to place these on here with the washi tape. And I did, how many did I do? I did about 7 because this big long guy takes a couple. It takes the slot of a couple. So we need to cut out, and I'm sorry, my son, I didn't have time to do all the die cutting. I was doing that right before we went live, and then I ran out of time. And then we have a little heart, and then the rest are all circles. The downside is you only get 1 circle die, and all the rest are, you get 1 heart, 1 circle, and then what you call the long johns. My husband likes those because they're eclairs. I used to love donuts, but found out not quite a year ago, but about 6 months ago, more than that, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, I can't have gluten. So donuts are no go anymore. So run this through. Whoops. my little cover on there just popped off. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. And then we've got our little donut pieces. Look how adorable they are. I love them. I'm going to do a few more. I already have one other one. I got a few done, and then I realized I'm late. So let me do a couple more in the circles. I want a nice variety. So I did a couple of rainbow ones, did a heart, I got purple. Let's do this orange one here. So I have figured out also that if you don't line them up just right, if you leave the washi tape on, I personally tend to cut a little too wonky. So I need to be a little more careful about pulling the washi tape off, realigning it, and then cutting it. Just run them through. Sorry, that's so squeaky. That's like a squeaky mess. So I hope everybody's having an amazing day. We are winding down the end of the year. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 more. Let's do the green, and let's do this one. We'll do another rainbow. I think the rainbows are pretty. It reminds me of those rainbow bagels. And it was such a plain stamp that I was like, oh, I gotta jazz it up a little bit because it didn't have like a place for frosting. It's like rainbow. Let's go with rainbow. So I need 4 across the bottom. So there's my 4 across the bottom. I just need 1 more. We'll do the yellow one since he's off to the side. And I just put a whole bunch of the stamps on a stamp block. I did like 4 at a time, stamped it, and then stamped again. So I did in batches. There we go. Again, sorry I did not have that part done ahead of time. That is totally on me, and thank you guys so much for bearing with me about that. There we go. All of the mess off the side. So basically just to show you kind of how I did the stamping, I'm not going to do it, but I took, just to give you an idea, I took a few of these like this. I just did like 3 or 4. Tried to space them out enough so I could cut them like you saw. And then I inked it and then stamped it. Inked it and I stamped again. So I had a nice variety. And so I put, at least every single one, including these guys, every single one of them twice on just a scrap sheet of paper, did my coloring, and then I just sat there with my colors. And I just pulled a whole bunch of colors that I thought would go well, made sure the pink worked, make sure the teal worked. It didn't, fight with the colors. So when you're putting in all kind of muted tones, and I didn't do any shading. I picked 1 color as my background right here. So this was my background color for all of the donuts. So I did all the backgrounds where you can see a little donut, and then just played around with the different colors of icing. So that's how I colored these, in case you're curious. All right, let's move those off to the side. Now I have all my little donut pieces. Get the papers out of the way. We don't need that. And I have my Xyron sticker maker. And everybody's like, you waste so much space on there. I'm going to show you how to save space on your Xyron. So when you put this in, get it started, right? And I go down the middle just because sometimes I don't put them in just perfectly, and I don't want it to come off to be funky. So if you notice, I've already got it kind of started here. Now I'm going to take one of my little donut pieces, come in on the underside and pop it in. So now I'm not wasting the center, right? I'm using as much space as I can. Let's go with a little long john guy here. I like to run them in one at a time so they don't pop out and cause a mess and they don't overlap by accident. Pop the next little guy in. And I think that's about as much space I'm going to get so I don't run in to the edge. I mean, it's not perfect, but there's definitely some more space and use for the sticker maker. Now I'm going to run 3 of them in. I'm going to put a couple in and pull so they don't fall out. And then another one. And unfortunately, I'm like one oddball guy out. Oops. Make sure you get it so it's actually, don't make you fall in there. There we go. And then one last little guy. I tried just to see how easy it would be with my tape runner to put adhesive on little circles, and it's a pain in the tuchus. I was fighting it, and I was like, you know what? This is why you make a sticker maker. And I didn't want to do wet glue because this piece, as you can see in here, it goes right up against the plastic, and I didn't want to get the plastic all yucky. So now that we have these all done, just going to do a quick rub. I should have done it before I pulled the plastic off, but we'll be good. There we go. Let's move all our stuff. We're going to take the little scallop. I'm not talking because I'm like, don't rip, don't rip. I wasn't very careful about pulling that off. Hi, Joanne. Hi, everybody. And then I'm just going to start with the corner. This is a little scallopy piece. This die piece comes in here, right here. And we're actually going to be using, I'll show you how I did the insert of that. But you die cut that out, and then the in piece comes out. So that's where that came from. And then you're going to come in and just place that right there. And then I do the corners first, make sure we line up. Be very gentle with it because it's such a small piece of paper because it's so thin, because you've cut out the center of it. And then just line that up. And that finishes your cutie little box. Whoops. Isn't that a cute little box? So now we got to put the donuts in there so you can see the donuts. So you open the box, and here you can see you can pop it. It's perfect size for a gift card. I think it's an adorable little size for that. So you put your gift card there. So now we need the part that is for the donuts. So this is how I do this. There is an insert piece. So this is the piece that came out of the center, right? And if you guys look, I'm going to flip it this way so you guys can see. It fits just perfectly in the window of the plastic. So I saved that, right? I didn't need it for anything else. It's too small for anything else. If you put this in here with your donuts, you could. I think it would be totally fine, but I didn't want to cover. I wanted people to open it and realize, and then they would see the gift card. If you opened it, just to show you, put the donut part in there, I was afraid that if they would open it and not realize that there was something underneath there. So that's why I stuck it to the top, so people would go, oh, and they would open and see the gift card. Plus, they would be able to hear it, and you can hear it. But if this was in here, then they might think it's just the paper moving around. So that's why I did that. There was a reason to my madness here. Let me move this little guy out of the way. This little gift card's getting a lot of use lately. It actually is loaded and ready to go because I don't drink a lot of coffee. All right, so what I did, this is the piece that came outside of here, and it fits perfectly. I wanted my donuts to be able to be seen inside the window. Sorry, all the crap's in the way. Oh, I need this. So I saved this, and this is a little piece I cut out, and I just went bigger, kind of like with the plastic piece that we stuck in the beginning. I just ballparked cut it, and notice it fits, but in it, you can see it, right? So it all fits in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to line up here, okay, because this is the part I can see, and I'm just going to do a quickie with a pencil, a little bit bigger, because we're never going to see that. This is, whoops, not supposed to move. So that I know I need to put all my donuts inside my dotted line. And I keep moving this. I don't want to get too close because I don't want it to be seen when it gets put in the window. So just a little bit bigger, not too much bigger. But it's giving me my, okay, stay inside of the dotted lines for wherever I have them. So that way I don't see it on my window. So I'm going to do a quickie check, place it in my window, just a ballpark check. And ta-da, see, I don't see any of my dotted lines. I'm good to go. So now I can start placing on my donuts. So let's do big guy in a corner. And you can fill this with as many donuts as you want. I did about 7 because I didn't want them to feel too squished. Some of the donuts have faces on them. Here's one. This one's got a cutie little face. This is another one. It's got a cutie little face. Not all of them have faces. So just kind of be careful that if you have a face, you don't throw it upside down. So you make them on there. So just line them up. I think 4 across the bottom works, or across one side works great. Let's put the heart. Change up the fun shapes and put them somewhere different. I still go get donuts for my kids. And whenever we get donuts, they have all kinds of cool, they have the long johns. The amount of different colors that they have for the frostings now are just through the roof. There's so many different frosting colors. I think it's absolutely fun. So now I'm going to take just the little plasticky piece right here. This is the part that the donuts, we just pulled all the donuts off of. And I'm going to run my tape runner right as close to the outside. So now we're going on the outside of the dotted line. So it actually has 2 different purposes for having the little dotted line. One is stay inside for the donuts. That's where they're going to go. And 2, stay on the outside for your adhesive. Because we don't want it to be, we don't want to see the adhesive through our cellophane window. And then I want to be able to see it. The donuts are facing this way. So I'm going to place it going like this. I'm just going to very gently. I don't want to push too hard. I'm going to make sure that I'm good. There we go. Down a little bit. Got a little wiggle room because I didn't place it too hard. And there is our donuts inside our box. And then you can place your gift card in there like I did here, right? So let's pretend the gift card is in there. I'm going to leave this open for right now. So I'm going to show you how to stick it to your card base. So So for this one, I did all the same neutral colors. Now that we got the little donut box made. So we have all of our stuff out of the way. This is an A2 size card. I used, these are the nesting frame dies, and they're so cute. I love it. Thank you so much, Royce. I appreciate that. Or rocks, sorry. Didn't need to say rocks, not Royce. So these are framed and they're stitched frames. These are also from Maker's Movement again. All the links are down below where you guys can find the product. And I haven't decided yet. Do I want to do the big circles? And then I decided I wanted to have white. I'm thinking that just might be too white. There's just too much because I'm covering up so much of that pink. See here, you really see the color. Or do I get rid of that and do this and then put it? Or do I do the pink? So I didn't, sometimes I'll cut pieces out and then I'll decide which direction I'm going. I think I'm just going to go solid pink. I think this is just going to be a solid pink one. So we're going to line it up like that. I love layers. Layers, layers, layers are my brand. They're so much fun. So now I'm going to add, I think it just jazzes up the card a little bit more when you add layers. So this one is a perfect A2 size. This is the largest of the dies. So I just went down in size. I did the largest one, then I did the second, and then I did the third largest. So then I'm going to go with white. There's little pieces right here from the inside of the donut. they're stuck. And when I line these up, I look at the corners. So I line up and go, does that corner look to be about the same size as that corner? I eyeball it. Are they about the same width, right? And then before I stick it all down, I look and go, yeah, am I there? And if I'm there, I stick it down. So that's how I decide how it all fits. So again, I just line up the corners. I want these to be nice, even fits. Looks good there, looks good there. If it looks good to your eye, you're good to go. You're good to go. All right, now for this one, obviously I can't turn this over and add adhesive. I can't even open my box and add adhesive. So I'm going to assume we're going to call our box done. It's super cute and adorable. I love the little box. You could leave the plasticky part off if you don't, but I think it adds a little charm to the card by having the box because it makes it look more like a donut box, right? So I want to have my box a little bit higher versus right smack in the middle. So we have space for a little sentiment, right? So I'm going to make my box a little higher. And this time, I shouldn't have closed the box. There was a reason why I left it open, Erin. Silly, silly girl. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to place this. And I got to turn it sideways so I get it placed evenly. This is hard because it's three-dimensional. Open it and then just use your finger to run through the inside, just like that. Plastic, it does add a little something to it, doesn't it? I think it just like it finishes it a little bit. It's that little extra attention to detail. And then close your box. There it is. Sometimes when you stick it down, I have noticed, if you notice it's just a little, because I've stuck the box, it's almost like it's made it a little bit wider. And so just be careful about that because it might need a little bit more help kind of opening. But once you open and close it a couple more times, it's going to find its new like closing way. And then there that is. So on the stamp set, isn't it adorable? So all these are from Maker's Movement. So here's all the cutie little stamps, all little donut stamps. I'm going to put these back on. Well, I'll do it later. So there's another one here. I also love the Open Me. So I was playing around with that with the Open Me. And there's also special delivery. And so I was thinking about if I did a little Open Me, and I think I would do about that. So I'm going to quickly cut this. I don't know if I liked it. I was debating if I wanted to do this. So we're kind of on the fly right now about the little Open Me part. Let's see if I can get this to be big enough. A little bit more. So you guys are not seeing what I'm doing. All I'm doing is I'm running this through here. I can cut the edges off, but getting height from top to bottom, just a little too difficult for me to do freehand cutting it evenly that way. I mean, I probably could have, but it's okay. I need another stamp block. This is why I bought some stamp blocks on purpose, so I don't have to worry about opening and closing, opening and closing. It makes it a little simpler. So I'll show you what I was thinking about doing. So just a little Open Me, and then I'm going to just clean this up a little bit. You could do this in a color if you wanted to. And I was debating, I don't know if I really want to do this. I'm just going to put this off to the side. Do I want to put it like right there? See, this is what I was debating. So people can understand Open Me. But I don't know if I like it. I felt like it takes away. I mean, so you answer this. Would you want to, isn't that cute? Box full. We're going to do that one in a second. Would you want to put an open me? Like you could do an open me there if you wanted to. I've been playing around with it. I haven't fully committed if I like the idea. Not sure. Not 100% sure. But we are going to do the other sentiment on here. So the other sentiment, now that I've moved it, it says, well, we're going to stamp it real fast so you guys can see what it says. So I have another sheet of paper here. We're going to do this on. Ink, ink, I need the ink. Oops. Might help if I face this the right way and I don't ink the top of my stamp block. The block that seriously needs to be cleaned. You see how dark that gross that is? It's so bad. All right. There we go. In a box full of bagels, be a donut with rainbow sprinkles. It's so cute. So we're going to cut this off right here. This is where I freehand a little bit. We're going to go as snug to this as possible because I don't have a lot of real estate at the bottom of my card. I want this one fit perfectly in terms of alignment, but we're going to go into the space. So I haven't decided about the open me. In the corner, like in the corner of the card, like that. I don't know. I've still, with this design, the open me doesn't seem to want to fit very well. And so with this one, see again, because I'm putting that on there, I don't know if I fully like the rainbow sprinkles part. So you know what you can do? To me, so this is my problem. To me, this looks a little bit too big. Even if I popped it up, it doesn't fit nicely. It's a little bit too large for that space. So what you can do is you can cut that part off if you don't like it. And we're going to save that because we're going to put that on the inside of the card. So I think I like that a little bit better. What do you guys think? That fits to me. It's not so filling up the bottom of the space so much. So now we're going to add in, and we're going to pop this up. So we're going to pop this little guy up. If I made it a little bit bigger, I would want to add a matte just because it just was getting into being too much the same colors. It was getting to be just a little bit too big. You could also do that sentiment on the inside. So you could do the one I did use, Don't You Know You're My Favorite. And then on the inside, you put the bigger sentiment. It just depends on how you want to use this particular card or the box. If you did a bigger card, which I always do this card just because it's like my default. I think we all have default sizes for cards, but this is my default. Everybody has different ones. Put the saying on the bottom left. I was thinking, so this is what I was thinking. And so open this guy up and have with rainbow sprinkles, and I still have a rainbow donut left. So I'm just going to freehand this donut real fast because I don't want to have to get all the die stuff out again. So I'm just going to freehand this. There's nothing that says that you have to get the dies that go with it. It makes life so much easier. But for a circle, I don't need to be super duper. I should have my better scissors, but you get the idea. This is just for not wasting so much time. So because these are so little, I'm going to run them through here again. Position open me in the bottom of the corner, but run the faux stitching around it too. So many ways you guys can do this. Then foam mount it. So now, oops, oh, there we go. Oh, my donut flipped upside down. I didn't align it just right, so I'm not going to push on that. I think we got half of it. We're still half good. I was reading your sentiments or your comment sentiments. That's what I'm saying. Everything's a sentiment now in card making. So see what happened to my donut? It got flipped because I wasn't looking as I stuck it in. It's all good. Pretend it's in there. So here's my little donut. And we're going to do the sentiment above it. So it's a little rainbow. Yeah, we're going to do that. Now it looks like there's something inside. So here you go in a box full of bagels, be a donut, and then you open it up, and then boom, was rainbow sprinkles, and then a little donut on the inside. So there's nothing to say that you can't add your sentiments or stuff, whatever you want inside. It's super cute. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I mean, they're super adorable. They come with the stamps and the dies come separately because with the die, you also get the box part to actually make the box, which is what we made here. And if you missed it and you want to check out how to make the box, please go back and take a look again. I still haven't 100% decided on the open knee. I think it just fights with my design, but it exists. So if it's something that you really want to have on there, I wish it was a tiny bit smaller, I think that's where, but with the design I have with this size of card, it just doesn't work very well for me. But there's so many other designs that you can do with this where it would work and it wouldn't fight with what you're doing, but not with this one. And again, sorry about the glare, but it's because we've got the plastic on there that makes it look like it's a real donut box. You open it up and you have a little gift card inside of there. So, and the donut part sits on the top, so it doesn't fight. And people are looking going, oh, because I mean, it looks like you're supposed to open it, right? It just has that look of, what do you have? You could put so many things. Cash would fit in there. I mean, you got a really good amount of depth here. So this is not a card you would put in an envelope because it's not something that you would want to squish the box. So just be careful about that. This is definitely one that you would want to hand deliver. Now, I did also want to show you, with your little donut pieces, you could cut out, where's the circle? So if you wanted to cut out, so you had a little donut, there's also little dies where you could cut out, instead of doing the stamp part, you can cut out the donut, and then you also can cut it out with another color. So you could do this in a tan color and do this in pink, and you just stick them together. You don't have to do the part where you color them in case you just got the dies and you didn't get the stamp set. Just as a heads up. There's also, here's the die for the heart. There's also sprinkle or like the frosting for the heart. And then there's also one more frosting shape for the circle. And then there's the frosting for the long john, or the little ovally looking one. So there's lots of little pieces for frosting pieces. Yes, you could also stamp directly on the acetate. I personally do not have any ink that can stamp that would not smear at that well. I did not want to have a smearing factor. You could also stick them to the top if you wanted to, instead of me having it on a piece of paper. I could have taken it and just stuck them directly to the acetate. But I wanted to have a nice clean front, and I didn't want to see the gift card below. So that's kind of where I went with that. But lots of fun options there. So many fun options. So thank you guys for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. A couple of announcements, as we always do at the end. And if you have any questions or any concerns, we're in our Q&A set part of the video of the Card Making Wednesday. So as always, links are down below. And don't forget to please like and subscribe. I'd love if you give thumbs up, hearts, share the video. I would truly appreciate that. If you'd like to join my channel, there's a button to join, and you can check that out. More tiers are coming soon. I'm a little swamped right now because my kids are kind of finishing up the end of school. We've got this week and next week, and then school's over. No more virtual school because they're going to go back next year. Yay! So this Friday, we have Paper House Productions coming into the show Erin makes with. So make sure you stay tuned to that. And next week, I'm going to give you the sneak peek. We have Art Esprit. So they are an iron-on ink sublimation marker that's really cool. They do all kinds of stuff. And it's a great way to use your stamps in a different way. So it's taking your stamps to another level with other crafting ideas. And we'll be playing with those and have some really cool new pieces that they do, like they put them on. But Paper House is next week, Art Esprit is the week after, and I have a ton more companies lined up for you guys to see all the cool projects. And there's always giveaways. We always do giveaways and coupon codes and all kinds of other cool things with those, with that Erin Makes With show. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I gotta find my mouse so I can click off. And if there's no other questions, I'm just looking to see if anybody else had any more questions or concerns. I think we're good. Bye, everybody.